And before we start our international headlines, we would like to thank our Paul Yi for all his contribution. Paul, you have been the most reliable, humble, hardworking, and knowledgeable person I've ever met in this industry. We thank you and good luck with your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, Paul. And our focus today is Greece's debt crisis reaches its breaking point. A military plane crash in Indonesia kills scores of civilians, and Marvel's tiniest superhero finally hits the big screen.
Paul, let's get right down to it. It appears like time has already run out for Greece as it makes a last-ditch effort to avoid defaulting on its international debts. What's the latest on where Athens stands at this point?
Well, the Greek finance minister Yanis Varoufakis has laid to rest any hopes of a last-minute deal to repay the country's creditors before Tuesday's deadline. This as global markets have been grappling with the pending economic fallout. Our Shin Se has more.
There are only hours left before Greece's current bailout package and its $1.8 billion loan repayment to the International Monetary Fund come due. The country's total accumulated debt is well over $350 billion, $270 billion of which is owed to the European Central Bank, the IMF, and other Eurozone countries. The June 30 deadline was set by the Eurogroup earlier this year and is attached to a series of demands for economic reforms. Late Friday, Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras threw the country into turmoil when he announced a referendum on the question of whether to accept the demands, with a scheduled vote to take place this coming Sunday. A yes vote means voters accept the austerity measures proposed by Greece creditors. A no vote could mean voters are choosing a path that will most likely rip them from the Eurozone, which experts say would result in heightened volatility in global markets. But Athens is already in crisis. The banks are shut, ATM withdrawals are limited to 60 euros, and Greeks are lined up at supermarkets hoping to stockpile essentials.
Greece is at the most critical moment of its modern history, faced with the prospect of disaster, a true disaster, unprecedented in times of peace.
The looming uncertainties over the situation in Greece have dented global markets, but not all of them. On Tuesday, Korean stocks closed 0.67% higher and the benchmark Kospi rose over 13 points, a relatively small shift as news wasn't unexpected. But the U.S. stock market plunged 350 points on Monday, with the Dow and the S&P 500 falling at least 2%, while European markets also took a tumble. Shin Se, Arirang News.